Today we're going to look at materials for beginners. This is talking about sketching materials. Let's go. I think we should start with paper because that's where I think you should spend the most money. Basically getting good paper makes a huge difference.
Hahnemuller A5, 250 gram. This will be good enough. You can also get the portrait shape ones if you like. This is brand new from Hahnemuller, 100% cotton. Not the same as the one I've shown you earlier, but I think this is a good choice.
Stillman and Burn has always been my personal favorite. You can't really go wrong. So the first one I'll recommend would be Beta. If you think that's too heavy a paper, you can go for Alpha. And the other two series, Zeta and Delta, are very good as well. You can also use loose sheets or blocks. I'll show you in a minute what are the example you could you could buy.
You can also get blocks of watercolor like this. This is Fabriano, 100% cotton. This is 300 gram. And you can get the hot press or the cold press. Either one is fine. This is the hot press, so it's a bit more smoother. The Winsor Newton, also not too bad. 9 by 12. Probably smallest you can go. Any smaller will be a bit hard.
The next most important, I feel, would be drawing material. I suggest a pencil. In fact, pencils the most essential. You need to have a pencil. You can do without a pen, but a pencil you definitely will need.
For pencil, I recommend 4B. If you can get 4B, that's the best. Okay, get a couple of these. You don't really need erasers, but you need sharpeners. Get the sharpeners for your pencil.
Right after paper, I would say put your money on good paint, good quality pigments. That makes a huge difference to your output or art. I swear by Daniel Smith pigments most of the time. I mean, most of my pigments are Daniel Smith. If you are coming to my workshop, I would suggest that you at least get 6 colors, two reds, two yellows, and two blues. Daniel Smith Watercolor Essential Set is a good way to start. That's actually all you need. But if you want more colors, these are some suggestions. The only color you might consider getting on top of the 6 would be a neutral tint to darken each of the colors when you're applying them. Now, if you're going to buy individual colors rather than set, here are my suggestions for the top 6. Lemon yellow for a cool yellow. New Gambosh for a warmer yellow. These two colors are two of my favorite yellows. For reds, I would say go for quinacridone rose. It's a lighter value red. And then there is permanent alizarin crimson for a heavier value red. I use my red not from a hue perspective. In other words, I'm not going for more intense red or cooler red, but because both of these reds are cooler, I use them from a perspective of value, lighter and darker. And one of the things about these reds, they are able to mix really well with the yellows to give you perhaps a little bit more, orangey feel. If you drop in a bit of New Gambosh, you might get a bit of hotter red. The two blues I use French Ultramarine. French Ultramarine is on the warmer side, and Cobalt Blue, which from a value perspective is right smack in the middle. That means it's 3 out of a scale of 5. You will need to buy a watercolor palette like this, an empty one, and squeeze the color into each of those palettes. You can buy half pans, full pans, and actually any of those plastic container will do. I'm not too fast. I use a cheap one that I ship from China. It's like $3. You could buy metal ones. You can get all sorts of quality, and they can get really expensive very quickly if you want good quality handmade, like metal container. But $3 for something from China, you could just get it easily off Amazon or any of those websites. Okay, very quickly, if you really want to spend more money on pigments, You can add 6 more secondary colors. Those would be quinacridone gold, quinacridone burnt orange, carbozel violet, moon glow, phthalo green blue shades, and green gold. Those would be my suggestions for your 13 color palette. You can of course get other brand. Let's look at a couple. Winsor Newton Professional Watercolor Set. This is the Daler-Rowney Artist Quality Set.
These two are student grade, so I don't really recommend it, but if budget is an issue, then I guess it's fine. This is the minimum quality. This is student grade because it's Cotman. It has most of the colors that you need, but if you can afford it, then buy artist quality rather than this.
All right, I'm gonna bit controversial. Water brushes for sketches. Um, to me, brushes you don't really have to go for the expensive one. Any brush will do. The problem is that if you buy a cheap brush, they may fall off, go into pieces very quickly. But because it's cheap, you could replace them easily.
If you get water brushes like these, I personally prefer Pentel. Get two. If you're gonna get one, then get a broad one, but I prefer to get two.
Two, because one you can use for clean water and you use it to dilute and so on and so forth. So two is the bare minimum.
If you don't really want to use the water brush, I recommend 3 brushes. A number 2 small brush, number 6 like this one, and a big one. It doesn't really matter how big, but big enough for you to do broad washes. You don't really need Kolinsky, you just need a good, even synthetic is fine.
You need two of these because one is for clean water, the other one is to wash your brushes. And so two would be the bare minimum. And that is assuming that you are using brushes rather than water brush. This is another option. They come in one set of 3. You can fold them up like that, which is very, very useful. I find I have a couple of these lying around somewhere. But yeah, those are options for your containers. Finally, if you want a pen, water resist, get the Sakura Micron. They are pigment pen, which means that when they are dried, they will be water proof. You can paint over it and they will not smudge. All right, in summary, these are the little things that you need as a sketchers if you're gonna start your sketching journey. Paper, paint, palette, pencil, brush or brushes, container, you need 2 of that, and a pen is optional, it's not necessary, but it's good to have. And that's it. That's really all you need to get started on your sketching journey. Good luck with that. And watch more of my YouTube tutorials, and you will learn here a little bit here and there. And then hopefully, if you have a question, just drop a note below in the description. I'll be happy to respond to you. All right. Stay safe wherever you are. This is We Take Out for this week.